by the way. I'm a huge I love fireworks. I really do. I'm a big fan. But when the government is spending your tax dollars on something that quite literally blows
Yeah.
up and gives you 1 second of ooh, ah, and then it's
Yeah.
gone,
Yeah.
and you still have to pay the pump,
Yeah.
it's just doesn't feel right. Hey everyone, welcome to the PredictIt Podcast. I'm Jacob Studwell. I'm here with Garth Juckem. Lots of news came out last week. We got Mills dropping out. We got SCOTUS VRA decision. Jerome Powell stealing the week, maybe. So stay tuned. We'll cover everything. So
That's fine.
the last time we talked, it was only a week ago, right?
Yep. Just a week ago.
So lots of big news. Let's start with the SCOTUS decision on Calais, Louisiana versus Calais. We had along party lines a ruling that basically says you have to really prove discrimination in these redistricting or in just drawing maps in general. So we're going to see some really funky maps. I'll put on the map that Poll Tracker put up. It looks like the Electoral College, but it's got the districts drawn in there. So it's very, very funky. Trump basically gave everybody full carte blanche to say, well, President Trump told us to rewrite all of the maps and fill in, I think it's something like 20 different districts by 2026. He wants it for the midterms.
Yep.
I just would like to put this in historical context. The president is looking to draw further House maps in his first midterm of his second administration. I think in any other year, we might say, wow, this seems like him looking to control the outcome of the midterm elections directly. But we just kind of move on because the Democrats are also projecting to write in 30 different districts of their own. They're being a little bit more cautious. By 2028 is the goal.
Yeah.
Let me just list off some of the math. California +3, Colorado +4, Illinois +2, Maryland +1. The point here is that we're moving away from packing, which is the gerrymandering tactic of putting all of the voters that you don't want to deal with into
Yep.
one district.
Yep.
And I think packing was across the board the more popular tactic because there's less risk there. You're assuring, okay, we can deal with that one district, that one House member from those voters there. Now we don't have to worry about them everywhere else. Now we're getting into cracking. So we're going to spread out the voters everywhere. What this will do, along with potentially just kind of make more or less competitive districts, it also allows for a certain wave to take over. And I think what this allows candidates to do is to become more moderate.
Mm-hmm.
And that moderation could potentially win over more candidates. I mean, do you agree that it's not necessarily the extreme that we can see on that map there? It could be either way.
Oh, of course. I mean, and as you stated out, 2028, the Democrats are looking at. I mean, the Wall Street Journal op-ed right after Clay came out was kind of focused on this and simply saying, okay, well, now we're setting these ground rules. We don't need to be focusing on, race in 2026. We need to be focusing on getting the maps correct, right?
Mhm.
And that this is a process, right? This is like you got into the starting line and the gun's gone off, and now we're gonna start doing this other way, right? Everybody's got the rules, so right now you hear all the Republican controlled legislators coming out saying, let's do this, but the reality is that there are X amount of Democratic controlled legislatures that are going to do the exact same thing because those are the rules. So Trump might be trumpeting this, but at the same time, I think it's fair game to both parties in the next 2 years.
Yeah. So in addition to more potentially competitive districts, you got to look at which party will win the House in the 2026 election.
Yep.
Democrats were at about 87, 86 cents before this
Yep.
decision came down. Now they're about 79 cents. So traders are still pretty confident that, and even though the GOP plans to redraw districts sooner than the Democrats, they still feel very confident that Trump's approval is as low as it gets now
Yeah,
officially in
yeah,
tracking and averages across the board. I think it's a good time to buy Democrat if you do believe that this war won't be wrapped up and gas will stay at 4.30 national average across the board. Inequality is still there. The cost of living crisis is still there.
yep. None
Inflation
of
is
that has
still
changed.
there. It's none of it's changed. So
Yep.
the underlying this almost might make you more bullish that Democrats could potentially win more
Yeah.
districts in which they're more spread. Their voters are going to be more spread out. They're
Yep.
going to be in more districts.
Well, and right now, I mean, really, the market is just reacting to what the Florida legislature did, and then DeSantis signing the 4 extra seats in Florida. I mean, so really, it's what the scoreboard is 13-9 at the moment. We're talking about a lot of what ifs. I mean, obviously, Louisiana's governor has put off its May 16th primary, and to set up a
That's a pretty
special.
big action. I mean,
That's a
to
big action.
to do that, and it's
So close to
really
the vote
weird.
race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Government's moving elections is just things that we don't want to happen in normal American life. We
Right.
don't want election dates to be moved,
Right.
and
But
it's not great.
I think right at the moment though that is more of like the rare case versus the, everybody's doing it, everybody's talking about it, but to make such a drastic step at this point in the calendar in
Hmm.
2026,
Hmm.
I mean, is really I think going to be rare to see. Common sense. If you've got early voting already started, now you're going to pause the election. Think about the amount of tax dollars it's going to cost to rerun the election, to reprint
Yeah.
this, to reprint that, just to schedule everything. It's a big behemoth of a voting apparatus that you're going to have to deal with. So, yeah, I think the market is just really reacting just right now to Florida's actions,
Hmm.
since that was already in motion. But
Yeah.
right now, yeah, Democrats. To hit on what you just said about Trump and his approval ratings, I mean, it seems like every news article that is coming out now, or every new poll, is Trump's new lowest.
Yeah.
And at what
Every
point does
single
that
time.
stem? And it might
Right.
just be a point, but at the same time, the headline is always the same right now.
Hmm.
New low. It's the trend is down, not up, and there's no reason right now for it to go up.
Yeah. And the generic ballot is starting to creep up a little bit for the Dems. I think most of the averages now have it at +5. Before it was closer to +2 or +3. So the signs are
Yep.
there. We're getting closer to November, in which the Democrats are showing they're the only alternative there. Two
Strong
party
hand.
system. So
Yep.
we see on April 28th the Republicans to win 192 or fewer seats in the midterm elections. Was it 45 cents? 45
Yep.
cents for 192 or fewer. Now it's at 39 cents. You could buy it at 38 cents.
Yep.
I think it's a good buying opportunity. I think it's a good buying opportunity for 192 or fewer. I think
Yep.
79 cents for the Democrats to take the House is also a good buying opportunity. These are good moments in which you shouldn't get scared. I understand that there's probably going to be action, but there's always going to be reaction by the other party. Things are mostly going to cancel out. So I would trust the fundamentals, and the fundamentals here are Trump's approval, affordability. Where is the administration's focus? Are there any
Yep.
plans in the next
Yep.
6 months to
Yep.
tamp down on inflation, to put money in the pockets of Americans, to lower the cost of goods?
Right.
There's
I,
nothing on my mind. I don't see anything in the
I,
horizon. So
and I mean, what really is on the horizon is the summer. What do Americans do during the summer when school is out? They go places. So
yeah,
they're acutely going to feel a higher cost in gas and buying things. We also have one of the most expensive World Cups coming of all time coming to America, and which people are going to be quickly reminded of, the $12 train ticket that really costs 112 when they try to go to New Jersey from New York, or they try to buy parking for $100, or so on and so forth. I mean, these are going to be small little reminders that will be the big celebration and of what it is. But I think people's pockets are going to really, really feel it this summer.
And America 250, there's going to be
Mm-hmm.
parades, there's going to be flyovers, there's going to be huge celebrations. The
Yep.
government is going to be spending loads of money, and they're going to
Yep.
be spending money on what are fireworks, which is essentially lighting money on fire. And by the way, I'm a huge I love fireworks. I really do. I'm a big fan. But when the government is spending your tax dollars on something that quite literally blows
Yeah.
up and gives you 1 second of ooh ah, and then it's
Yeah.
gone,
Yeah.
and you still have to pay the pump,
Yeah.
it's just doesn't feel right. So
Yeah.
the question is, will that carry over? The summer will end mostly in August. The celebrations will end then. You have a
Yeah.
few months. I still think that, and let's move quickly into the Trump administration to the Iran war. Trump is still controlling the narrative. And this is what we talk a lot about. The Democrats are just not capitalizing on any opening that they're given. Trump made it very clear that the war was over or had subsided before that 60-day mark. You bring it up all the time. Thought Congress had to approve things after 60 days. Democrats are not bringing it up. Trump's bringing it up to
Yeah.
clarify and to say, hey, this isn't mandated because ceasefire, the war's over. 60 days restart the counter, restart the clock. And the Democrats are just sitting there on their hands. They're
Yeah.
actually sitting there on their hands, and they're watching their chosen candidates drop out of races because she couldn't get more than 25% in polls against a oyster farmer. It's
And it's
across
worse
the
than that.
board.
And it's
Yeah.
worse than that. She couldn't find the money as governor. That's wild to me.
In a crucial swing state with a huge senatorial, yeah,
Couldn't
it's
find the
really
money.
crazy. It's really crazy.
How?
And guess whose job it is, or at least somebody who gave her money was Chuck Schumer.
Uh-huh.
Gave her direct funds, chose his candidate,
Yep. Yep.
and she flailed out. It's funny that her big announcement was, I'm only going to run for one term. You can only say things like that when you're in the lead. Nobody wants you to even serve one term. Why
Or
would
Joe
we be
Biden.
thinking about two? And at least Joe Biden had a fighting chance when he said, I don't
Yeah, he
even know
did.
if he said it or indicated it, but he indicated that he would run for one term. Went
Yeah.
back on that. But and voters remember that. Voters aren't going to be fooled.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right,
100%.
Janet Mills, just because you say you run one term doesn't mean you're going to get to the Senate. Realize that you get off what? Probably 6 months a year the senators get off. How long do they have?
Best
You
job
know,
in America.
best job in America. So I get it. I don't want to be the governor of my state. I want to be the senator
Yep.
representing my state. Okay.
Yep.
I want to be
And
able to get 2 minutes to yell at who's ever talking to my committee. I get some clips put up there, and I race home. And I'm there
yep.
for 2 weeks before the recess is over.
Yep.
So so so
That
back
never
to
gets old.
I know it really
Never.
doesn't. Back to Trump and the war. This morning we've is it Operation Freedom? I think we're running out of operation names. Operation Freedom. I think we've used that before. Let's get a little more creative, but that's okay. We're escorting ships
Yep.
through the strait.
Yep.
Solid plan. I don't really know why we didn't do that until now. Seems like you're kind of saying, hey, you're mad? Hit me, right? You're
Yeah.
essentially saying, go ahead, take your best shot. There
Yeah.
was reports, Iran reported that they did take a shot on a ship. The Pentagon declined or said that didn't happen. We actually escorted two ships perfectly this morning. Since we're recording, I don't see any other news. I don't know. I can check really quickly right now. Things move that quickly. As we're recording, a ship might be hit. I don't know. The ceasefire might be over by the time we're done recording here. But the focus is on Iran. It's on our foreign adversaries. It's not on the American people. And
No.
Trump's approval keeps sinking, sinking. We don't have any shakeup in the administration either. Cabinet
No.
officials have stayed stable since the last time.
Yep.
We have a new representation of a cabinet member on SNL. We got Aziz Ansari as Kash Patel. So We'll see how
Uh,
long that lasts, but that was fun. I enjoyed that. Uh, now I do want to know, and let me just check up on our market right now. Next cabinet member to leave. I don't know if you've checked this market yet, but what's your best guess here if you haven't checked the market?
well, I mean, Hegseth was definitely on the hot seat last week,
Mhm.
um, but we haven't seen any firings since. So he must have done decently enough to survive his grillings by both the House and the Senate
Yeah,
last
those
what?
didn't go viral as much as some other ones.
No,
I
I
don't
was
think it
kind of expecting them to, but like, mm, yeah, not
fell
much.
kind of flat. Right now, Hegseth's at 75 cents to be the next cabinet member out.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's where I'd put my money personally. I think I'd throw something on RFK Jr. I think that whole division of the government is under fire the most. We just got
they are.
switcheroo on the Surgeon General. Trump heard enough from the vaccination crowd and swapped out what was her name? Was it like Dr. Abby or something? I know that's like a
Sounds
different
familiar.
person, but we got a new Surgeon General who was pro measles shot, so
Yes.
we could kind of wipe away that headline. But I would go with RFK Jr. Right now. There's pretty low volume across the board, but you could get RFK Jr. at 49 cents. I see.
Oh, this is great. What a great headline. So the Trump withdraws Surgeon General nominee Casey Means, blaming Bill Cassidy. They left out something in front of Bill Cassidy, isn't it? Dr. Bill Cassidy.
Wow, very offensive. Bill Cassidy not
I
going to be
mean,
happy. Yeah, it's true. That's why he's so
such
against Casey Means was because
right.
he gives his not constituents, his patients the measles shot and believes in it. The MMR. It's uh, we don't even need to get into it. And again, my opinions withstand. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the senators think and what they were
It's true.
actually going to approve. Speaking of approval, let's go back to Fed chair really, really quickly. I just want to check up on the votes. We're still on the same page in terms of 52 or 53. I'd be shocked if it was 54 or 55. Right now we got 67 cents for 52 or 53, 38 cents for 54 or 55. I still think that Kevin Warsh is votable. He's
Definitely.
very much votable. And now that you have Jerome Powell saying that he's going to stay on, you have even more cover. If you're, we think Fetterman's already going to flip. If you're any one of these other senators that maybe want to moderate a little bit here, maybe they want to show, hey,
Yeah.
I'm willing to vote for a guy who's completely ready for the job,
Yeah.
didn't really say anything questionable, don't
Used to
have
work for the
a
Fed.
used to work for the Fed.
I mean,
So I like 54 or 55 at 39 cents. I think you're
yeah, I
basically
agree.
rolling the dice that somebody gets convinced. So
I mean,
goodbye there.
is there a shout for Jerome Powell sticking on as Fed governor as the big news from last week? I mean, I may have dad brain going on right now, but I feel like that was the big news. I mean, obviously, the week started with DOJ dropping things that was on Friday, and then Tillis coming out on Sunday. But then they had the meeting, they kept rates the same. There was some dissent, first time in like forever. And then Jerome was like, yeah, I'm just sticking around. And everybody's like, wait, what? And then on top of it, then he kicks out Trump's boy so that Warsh can take his seat. And so
Yeah,
Jerome
that
totally
is really
won the
funny.
week. He totally won the week last week. And I feel like that was the news, the most interesting news of last week.
What I will say, it probably was. I think the Mills dropout was expected. I
Yeah,
think the Calais decision, we don't really know what the fallout is. So it's not
right.
concrete
Exactly.
enough. It just
Exactly.
hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Uh, I will say you definitely do have dad brain. Like most people would not necessarily give Powell the big W for last week, but it is notable that it was the first time that he was pretty much outright political and said,
Yeah. Big time.
Trump comes for me, I have to stay.
Yeah.
And that was the most political thing he's done in his entire term. I mean, when you're Fed chair, the last thing you want to do is be political. And now that he's
Yeah.
on his way out,
And,
You know,
so maybe it's the one thing he does for Fed independence. I mean, it's like it's the most political move, yet it's also, sets things up so for the least
right,
political damage. I mean,
right.
it's kind of
It's genius.
it's genius.
Yeah, the last person that I can, and he was in the news also, so that's why I'm bringing it up. The best comp for Jerome Powell is James Comey. James Comey loves to do political things to try to be apolitical. Now,
Yeah,
does James Comey step up to the plate, take a
and hit
whiff, and then sit back down? Because he definitely does not hit at a good rate. I
no,
mean,
he does not.
could
Oh
you
man,
imagine that your inadvertent letter essentially gives Trump the first election? Not a conspiracy theory or anything. That was definitely the October surprise that we had in 2016. And then you're still you work under Trump,
yeah,
and you're still the first guy that he is fiercely coming after. No, he doesn't come after anybody else as clearly and fiercely as he does
just
James Comey.
James Comey. That's true. It was,
Tough indictment. He'll fight it. I don't even expect it to really go that far. I don't think the seashells are good enough
who
evidence there, but
But who takes a photo of seashells in such a? Why is the former
um,
FBI director taking a photo of
it's really
seashells?
weird.
That isn't like, oh, look at that random assortment. No, it is literally something some
Yeah,
kids drew or something of this nature. Like, it's
it's
not even
weird. It's
remotely
just like
interesting.
it's something my grandmother might do, and she might be listening, Heidi. But I just, it's weird. It doesn't fit his, whatever. It's very, very weird. The whole thing. I just had to bring up Comey because the seashells thing. What the hell?
It's
And this was a thing done previously too. I know there was another one that
right.
some commentator said the same thing about Joe Biden. He didn't
Yeah.
get, or whatever. It's all ridiculous hogwash, but it's funny, and we can discuss.
It's the world. It's the 2026 we're living in. You wake up one morning and we're in Venezuela. You wake up the next morning, we're in Iran. You wake up a third morning and you go, oh, James Comey's in trouble
Seashells.
for his Instagram post. Seashells.
Oh, I
Hashtag.
hope he's enjoying the beach. I hope he's just relaxing and not thinking about, oh,
Yeah.
tough for James. All
Mm,
right, let's finish on Collins. Susan Collins flipping on Iran. She's
yep.
interested in voting for the War Powers Act. It's not enough. The traders are not convinced. Right now, Senate Iran War Powers resolution by June 30th, yes, is at 9 cents. So no one's moved.
Yeah. No.
No one's moved. No one's blinked.
No.
Now, we were just discussing if Iran does fire back and there's more of a possibility of actual conflict. I think that's why this hasn't really been brought up.
Right.
Although the Senate does vote on this basically every 3 weeks at this point. We get a refresh of do we want this to come to the floor? Uh, so traders are not convinced. Is this going to help out Collins in the general? That seems to be the actual reason for the flip.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that definitely is that's the actual reason. I mean, earlier in the week, what the Senate Republicans blocked a move on Cuba. I don't think anybody's moving, so this is clearly just a political move for the general, a typical move that Collins would make. It feels like very her MO, in the state that she's in, and yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, because is anybody going to remember that she flipped, in 4 or 5 months' time? Probably not.
No, no,
They'll make an ad
definitely
out
not.
of it that she's a flip
Yeah,
flopper, but like, come
sure.
on, come on.
But this is her thing. So I don't even think the ad is that helpful
Yeah,
because
no,
this is totally par for the course. So traders still have Democrats at 65 cents
yep,
to win the election in Maine. It's actually dipped a little bit. So people are starting to buy into the Collins train. She's unstoppable generally. If you look at the big picture, Collins can't really be stopped. My question for you is more of a philosophical question. So we've now seen Democratic voters be tested
yep.
on would you prefer a more qualified but frankly very old candidate, or would you prefer a first time candidate with mostly no qualifications. No offense to Graham Plattner, but
Yeah.
not too much on the resume there. And he has the vibe.
Yeah.
So Democratic voters have been tested. They've clearly chosen their person. When we talk about, I think I care more about independents than Republican voters. Are independents also in the mindset of how old are you? That might be the first question that they ask. Are you over 75? Do you look old? Do you feel old? That's also really important, right? We talk
Yeah.
about age so much, but we don't even bring it up with the president because he doesn't feel old, besides the sleeping in meetings, but
You
he
know,
doesn't.
where did I see? I saw it earlier today. I don't know if it was in the Hill or somewhere, but it was some polling about talking about old age and senators.
Hmm.
And Markey, the reference was Markey because Markey's what, 86 or something like that,
Got it.
88 in Massachusetts,
Hmm.
and he's talking about running again and for 4 more years. And people talk about how they care about it, but then when it comes to voting, they don't care, and they'll vote for the guy who brings home the bacon and or the gal.
Right.
And I think that independent voters will care more about the issues. I don't think they will look at age. I don't think there's an ageism issue here, for the most part. I mean, people will vote more on the issues that they care about. And if you're, Susan Collins and you're, saying all the right things, great. If you're Graham Plattner and you're a first time guy coming in, a whole bunch of ideas, but you got the vibe, then voters might lean that direction. But we also know that Susan Collins brings home the bacon for Maine.
She
Ed
brings home the
Markey
bacon.
brings home the bacon in Massachusetts. And so I think this is a little bit harder. You'd have to do something really wrong for people to turn on you, not just because you turned 86. You'd have to have some sort of mental facility drop, and you're just sitting there going, oh, who was it? The senator out of California. What's her bucket? Oh my gosh, she's passed away since. Dianne Feinstein.
Oh,
Dianne
yes,
Feinstein.
Feinstein.
So
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
where
yeah.
where
Wow.
where the
That
physical
was
and,
an
and mental.
extreme. That
But
was a
that's
big
I
extreme.
think it takes something that strong, that extreme, where
Yeah.
you in public the persona has changed in such a degree that voters sit there and go, oh wait, I don't know if she can or he can take care of my needs,
Yeah.
even if I voted for them for long enough.
Right.
That
Just based on the physical appearance,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Collins is just kind of shaky. But besides that, not really an issue for Collins.
right,
The only question is Collins facing an uphill battle on multiple fronts,
yeah,
right? She's now part of a very unpopular Republican Party.
yeah,
Her popularity or favorable rating herself is underwater,
hmm,
slightly, but underwater.
right,
She's older,
yep,
and she's going to now be facing a candidate who has some wave of momentum behind him. He has
yeah,
pretty much every national politician that would ever
yeah,
use the word progressive in a
right,
speech behind him.
yeah,
I think it's a really big test of progressivism in
yeah.
a state that is usually kind of narrow, right down the middle type of state.
I
And they love Susan Collins.
I was
So
gonna say, but I think the flip side is she's been there. I mean, obviously it was some time ago, but she's faced that hill and she's climbed that hill.
mhm.
And I mean, I wouldn't bet against the incumbent in this regard. But all of the signs that you've just laid out are strong signs. And it may be the biggest political fight of her life. I mean, no pun intended here. And we say this all the time, it feels like.
Yeah.
Politics just kind of gets more extreme as, over the last 10 years. But at the same time, yeah, I think the odds are stacked against her. But she's done enough to swim against Trump to say, hey,
Hmm.
look, I'm not beholden.
Hmm. Yeah. So it's tough to tell traders to buy just because it's basically at the worst price in the
Yeah,
last few months. It
yeah,
was at around 25 cents when we were saying, hey, let's look at some of these Republicans in these close
yeah,
Senate races. they're
Yeah.
great prices. Right now it's at 37 cents. So I don't know if you'd be buying Susan Collins at 37 cents. I might wait a little bit longer to try
I
to see
would.
that momentum. Yeah.
I think also the fact that Mills has dropped out and now it's a head to head, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
And so you don't have like, oh, I'm attacking the governor of my state, or I'm just now attacking the lobster man of my state. It's kind of like it's a different visual dynamic of how voters are going to see the issue, right? I mean, it's the race has started, if you will, now that Mills is not present.
The lobster man. We're gonna carry that forward. We're gonna use that. He is officially the lobster man. All right, Garth. Really appreciate your time today.
Of
Everyone,
course.
have a great week and follow us on youtube.com/@PredictItOfficial, on X @PredictItPod, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Yeah, have a good one. Peace out, everyone.
See you guys.